When it comes to covert narcissism, all narcissistic individuals are capable of behaving in covert ways. They have the personality traits such as that sense of entitlement, the lack of empathy, the exploitative nature, envious of others, arrogant and haughty behaviour, grandiose, preoccupied with themselves, a belief that they are special. They run from very similar beliefs about themselves and who they are as a person and how they feel about the world around them. And then they can have their own personality type, such as the grandiose will be more overt. Then you can have a fragile narcissist that will be more covert and more vulnerable because they've not got enough supporters around them to back up their lies. So they have to look for underhand ways to get away with their behaviour. The grandiose has enough flying monkeys and enablers to back up their story so that they can get away with their behaviour a little more obviously. You can have the cerebral, that's all about the looks, the somatic, that's all about the intelligence, the communal, the compassionate, there's the super helpful and the self-righteous. You can have the narcissist who is malignant, who is sadistic by nature. There are various types, and they can all use covert behaviours as and when suits them. And 6 behaviours that identify covert narcissism, and one of the first of these is they will play the victim to gain the sympathetic attention as and when needed, to avoid consequences for their actions, to scapegoat somebody else, to blame and shame somebody else. So if the narcissist has lied and cheated on their partner, they don't want to look like they're a cheat, even though they are. They will blame the partner for not being there for them, for having mental issues. They've tried to do everything to stand by their partner, but their partner financially abused them, and they play the victim while they have been the liar and the cheater, and the partner hasn't done anything untoward. They will avoid communication with their children, yet they will blame their adult children for not being grateful. They will blame the other parent when it comes to young children for not allowing them to see their children. They will avoid taking financial responsibility for their children and just claim that it's the other parent that's greedy. They don't see that they should also be providing for their child. They look to play the victim in any given opportunity. It wasn't their fault. They didn't know. You can do it better. They will use that weaponized incompetence. They will hoard information. They will hide information. They're incredibly secretive. They will withhold information and resources. They will refuse to answer a simple question. They will lie about the small stuff. So instead of just saying, hey, I'm just nipping to a friend's, I'll be back in a couple of hours, they'll say, oh, I'm just nipping to run an errand, I'll be back in 2 minutes. And then 2 hours later, you're sat whittling about where on earth they are and if they're still alive and if everything's okay, because your imagination is going crazy because they leave out the small details. And then when you try and ask them, they accuse you of overreacting. And because you've got yourself into that state, you believe you're the one that's overreacting to the given situation. They project, they blame all others for anything and everything that doesn't align with their narrative, that paints them in a light that they don't want to be seen in. So they turn it around, and they are some of the most selfish people you could ever meet, but they'll accuse you of being selfish. They are some of the most controlling people you could ever meet. Yet when they nip out somewhere and they say, I'm just running an errand, I'll be 2 minutes, and you just innocently ask, oh, where are you going? Anywhere interesting? Anywhere nice? Just out of curiosity, out of conversation that genuine people can actually have together. And they just turn around and say, you're not in control of me. And then they storm off, and then they use the argument that they've created as reason as to why they didn't return straight back home. So you're the one that's left feeling like the problem. They will triangulate you against others. They will create conflict and competition. They will compare you to other people. They will claim that everybody else thinks they're amazing, or nobody else likes you. So you feel like you're the issue. They can be very passive aggressive with those silent treatments and the sulks and the backhanded compliments. Yeah, they make you feel sorry for them. And when they offer that backhanded compliment, they turn around if you question it and say, I was only trying to be nice. I can't do anything right by you, can I? And then they storm off and sulk, and you believe you're the one that's offended them. They will go all out to gaslight your reality, to deny situations, to downplay situations. They want to convince you that what they said they didn't say, or what they didn't say they did say. I told you last week, how can you of all people not remember? I never promised that. Here we go with your overreactive imagination again. So you're the one that's always quizzing who you are and not who they are. They will go all out on those smear campaigns, but they do it in that sort of self-righteous, playing the martyr kind of way, where they're destroying somebody's reputation, but they're doing it for the benefit of everybody else. So they'll claim that that person has mental issues, is going crazy, and they did all they could to try and help that person out, but there's nothing you can do to help them. And it's also that they can avoid consequences for their actions, so that people look badly on the other person. Someone who genuinely cares, when someone's going through issues, someone who genuinely cares would try and support the person through it, not try and shame them and humiliate them and feed people information that they don't want other people to know. They can appear like the most caring, charismatic person you could ever meet, depending on the audience that's around them. So people can all think that they're really nice and really amazing, when behind closed doors, they're not. And they are some of the most critical, highly judgmental people you could ever meet. Again, with that sort of self-righteous attitude, yet they are extremely overly sensitive to even the slightest perceived bit of criticism. Offer them some constructive feedback and they turn into the victim of how everything's your fault, how you're the one who's never there for them. They triangulate you and claim that your sibling would help them out, that the ex would have done it for them. They compare you against others. They become passive aggressive and they fall silent on you for daring to offer them any form of feedback. They go all out to gaslight you and claim that you're the one that doesn't know what you're on about. Then they might even take on board on your advice when they recognize that it was a good idea, and then they do it, and then they claim the idea as their own, and it was nothing to do with you. Any signs of covert behaviours that you noticed, as there are plenty of them, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviours, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have several books out on Amazon: 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People If You Cannot Go No Contact, A Narcissist Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, and how to create boundaries around those who have no respect for your boundaries. They'll be in the description also if you'd like to go and check those out. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.